Hi everybody, thanks for coming back to OneMinuteDigital.com. Today, out of nostalgia, I am going to show you how to make this very simple Rebel insignia from Star Wars. I'm going to show you how to make this flat, easy symbol. You can, if you've seen my other tutorial about how to make type in a circle to create a round logo, you can make this symbol and just use that instead of the star and make something like this. With just a change of font and a change of symbol, you have a totally different look to it. This symbol is a little bit more complicated than just a couple of shapes put together, as a lot of my tutorials will show you. But if you look at it, it's really made up of just a few shapes. A couple of circles, a nice diamond, a couple of ovals, and a couple of wonky triangles there that make little teeth that cut out that logo. If you start to look at things that you want to recreate as just shapes and break them down, you can make almost anything. So what you're going to need for this tutorial is your Pathfinder showing. So go to Window, Pathfinder, make sure that's up. And you might need your stroke also. Make sure that is showing as well. Okay, so let's get started. Now this symbol, first thing, is the ellipse tool. It defaults to the rectangle tool. Click and hold, find your ellipse tool. Now click anywhere on your artboard and make a 3 by 3 inch circle. Now click again anywhere on your artboard and make a 2 1/4 or 2.25 by 2.25 inch circle. We have two circles. I'm going to make this smaller one white so it's easier to see what we're doing. Okay, now select them both, and you're going to need to see your alignment tools. They will default and come up here. If you don't see them up here, go to Window, Align, and that will bring up your alignment tools, which are the same thing that are up here, but Illustrator makes it easy by putting it right up there when you select different shapes. So let's select them both, go up to the alignment tools, and in this little icon before your tools, make sure Align to Selection is checked. Check that, and then check the center, horizontal align center and vertical align center. Now you see they're one on top of another. What we want to do is create this crescent shape that's on the bottom of the logo. So selecting the circle that's on top, use your arrow keys and just move it up till you get a nice crescent shape. You can see how it looks as we move it up. We want to get a nice shape that kind of resembles this one here. And I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, let's go with that. So selecting them both, now here's where we use the Pathfinder. The second shape on your Pathfinder box here is minus front. With those both selected, click there, and now that got rid of that first circle on top and just made this one shape, crescent shape, which is the bottom of the Rebel logo. Now what we're going to do is create this top part, this arrowhead sort of that goes on the top of the logo, and that really is, as you can see, just a diamond. So click and hold on your ellipse tool, get your rectangle tool back, click anywhere on the artboard, and let's make a 3/4 inch or 0.75 by 3/4 inch square. That's a perfect square. What we need to do though is turn it into a diamond. All you have to do is hover over it with your black arrow selected till you see that that corner arrow with the double arrowheads. Hold down Shift, click and drag until it pops it up into a diamond shape. Now select both of them. Again with your alignment tools, let's just keep it centered. Click on that first horizontal align center, and that will just make sure that that is perfectly in the center of that crescent. Now let's change that shape. It's not exactly a square. You see the shape here? It's more of a diamond shape. So let's hover over that with our white arrow at the bottom corner and hold down Shift, click and drag until it makes more of a diamond shape, and pull this up a little also. So it's not a perfect square. It's a little bit wonky. It's a little bit skewed. And move it down just a little bit, because as you can see here, the top of that arrow comes just over where the natural flow of that circle would be, that natural line. It just is a little bit higher, so we're just going to make it a little bit higher than it would normally be. I think right there is good. Okay, the next thing, we've got our two shapes here. The next thing we have to do is create this sort of oval cutout that happens here. The two little eggs or footballs, and we want to make that flow into our crescent as easily as possible. So back to our ellipse tool. Click anywhere on your artboard, and I would say to start with a 0.75 by 1.25 inch ellipse. You can just draw that if you want, or you can type it in however you want, but you want a shape that kind of looks like this. I'm going to make it a different color so it's easier to see. Now what we want to do, I'm going to zoom in, is with this shape, think of it as scissors, because this is not a shape that's going to stay in our logo. We're going to use it to cut out of the existing shapes. So what we want to do is make it a little bit shorter and squatter, hover over that the white box in the box there, and just tilt it a little bit till it starts to line up with our crescent shape on the left hand side. We want it to touch but not overlap. We don't want it to cut into that shape. We want it to just touch that shape. We also want this part of it to cut right exactly where that left corner of that diamond is. So that's what we have to work with here, and you have to use your eye by moving up your little oval, have it cut right at that particular point, and make sure it goes all the way and just touches, barely touches the edge of that crescent. This is maybe the hardest part because you have to just eyeball it, rotate it till you get a nice selection, and just make sure it takes a nice gouge out of your diamond to give it that stylized arrowhead and barely touches the rest of your shape there. And if you need help, go to View Outline, and here you can see where it's gouging. And if we zoom in here, we can see it's not even touching at this point. We want it to just touch without overlapping. And that looks good. And this one, we want it to just barely cut where that point is. So we're looking good there. Okay, so now if we zoom out, we have a pretty good little egg shape going there. Now what we're going to do is select that egg shape, go to Edit Copy, and Edit Paste in Place. That puts an exact duplicate, one on top of another. Now click off there, hold down Shift, click and drag that copy over to the other side. Now go over back to your toolbar and find your Reflect tool. It defaults to the Rotate tool. Click and hold and select the Reflect tool. Now hold down Shift, click somewhere near the center, and go over to the right just a little bit, and that flips it over and makes a little mirror image of our little egg shape. And now we want to put it exactly where the other one is. Remember, we want to gouge a little bit into our diamond shape and just barely touch our other shape here. So that's the shapes that you should have now. Now I'm going to select both of these eggs and copy them. Edit, copy. Don't do anything with it, just copy. That keeps it in your pasteboard, in your memory, so you can paste it later. Now with both of those selected, hold down Shift and select your little diamond shape. Go up to the Pathfinder and again find the minus front, which is the second option on your Pathfinder, and click that. And as you can see, it cut out a nice gouge in our arrow shape. We now have two shapes, this top arrow and the crescent. So now what we have to do is fill in the stem here, the stem that goes down that connects the top arrow to the crescent. So the way we do that is, remember when we copied our two little egg shapes, now we're going to paste them exactly where they were by going to Edit, Paste in Place. And now they came back there right where they were. Click off of there. Now go back and find our rectangle tool. And now we want to fill in this kind of M shape here. We want to fill that all in because it's going to make the shape of our little arrowhead. So with your rectangle tool, click and drag, and what we want to do is cover all of that white space without going above it. So that will be good. Let's make that a different color so we can see that also. So now we have that shape as well. And now carefully click on your eggs again. 1, hold down Shift, 2, and now go to Object, Arrange, Bring to Front. So now those eggs are on top of the rectangle. Now select them again, hold down Shift, hold down Shift. There we have all three selected. And again, back to your Pathfinder, go to the minus front option, click there, and now we have our shape. What we have now is actually three shapes. We have this shape, this one, and this one. So if I hit Command Z and go back, all we have to do is turn this one black, and now we have that entire shape. If you select all of them and go up to the first choice on our Pathfinder, which is Unite, that makes them all one shape, which you can now make any color that you want to. You can select it and make it whatever you want to. It's all one shape. So now, sometimes this happens. I'm going to zoom in here. You see this little thing right here? Sometimes that happens if you don't have your ovals directly on top. So what I'm going to do is select that, find my pen tool, click and hold, find the Delete Anchor Point tool, because we don't need that extra anchor point there. I'm just going to hover over there and delete it. Oops. There we go. And do the same for the other one. Delete that extra anchor point. Sometimes it's hard. There we go. And now we have a nice smooth shape going on. Okay, now the only thing left to do is to create these little bite marks that are taken out of the diamond shape on the top, these little teeth here that create that shape, that very distinctive Star Wars Rebel insignia shape. So the only thing we need to do is create those with our pen tool. So go back to your pen tool and find the top one. And we're going to make these little teeth. And if you haven't used the pen tool before, this might be a little bit weird, but you can do it, trust me. Using your pen tool, we're going to create that little tooth image here. So clicking outside it, click and release. Now go a little bit into it, click and drag and make a little bit of a curve because it's not a perfect triangle. It's a little bit curved. It takes a bite out of it. There we go. Let go. Hold down Option. Click there. Come back up to complete the tooth. Come outside of it. Make it a little bit. Pull, pull. See, when you pull, you can make all kinds of shapes. You want to pull a little bit to make it a little bit of a curved tooth shape. Click, hold down Option and click there. And now come back and complete that shape with your selector. I'm going to make this white with a black outline so you can see it. And then we want to put it in the place we want it. I think that looks pretty good. We'll bring it down a little bit, push it in. There we go. You can see how this is here. And now we want to copy this shape, edit, copy, and edit, paste in place. Now click off of it, hold down Shift, click and drag, and we have our duplicate moved over. Go over to your reflect tool, hold down Shift, just click somewhere near the middle and move it just a little bit to the right. There we go. Now with that selected, click your other tooth and group them by going to Object, Group. And now with that selected and the rest of your shape selected, we're going to center them again here, just to make sure it's exactly in the center. Okay, and now with all three shapes selected, both teeth and your bottom shape, again go up to the Pathfinder and click minus front. And now you have your complete shape for your Rebel insignia. And like I said before, if you go find my other tutorial, just make this shape and drop it into here and you can make anything you want like this. This font is actually called Star Killer and I believe it is free on fontspace.com. If you just go to fontspace.com and type in Star Wars, there's a lot of Star Wars fonts there available for you. Lots of people are liking to make designs with using that font that's similar to the font used in the movies. So go ahead and make your Rebel badge and then everyone will know you are part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Okay, until next time guys, may the Force be with you.